Last night it was a terrible. It was a sad moment in wrestling business. Personally, and for everybody really. We lost one of the greatest managers possibly of all time, and Mr. Fuji. And Mr. Fuji was like the greatest manager, man. He was a wrestler like in Japan and stuff in like the 70s or 80s or something like that. But he really made his name really in the 90s with the late great Yokozuna. Yokozuna, did I say his name right? Oh, I did. When he was managing him, and he managed him to obviously nearly face Hulk Hogan, but so Hulk Hogan didn't want to do the job to fucking Yokozuna. It didn't make no sense, Hogan politics and shit like that. We all know. So yeah, anyway, he fucking dropped the belt, and then he dropped the belt to Brett. Brett and Yokozuna had a good feud, had a good feud. But I'm not talking about Yokozuna. I'm going to talk about also Mr. Fuji. Mr. Fuji had a great influence on the wrestling business. How he would just, how he was. His character was so great, and in my opinion, it's a big loss for the wrestling business. I mean, I send my condolences to the family of Mr. Fuji. Mr. Fuji is an awesome manager for wrestling, and he's one of those managers that the wrestling business has missed for a long time. I know Paul Heyman is a great manager, but we don't have a lot of great wrestling managers in the wrestling business at the minute in WWE. Like, it's sad. It's sad whenever time you hear a wrestler or a wrestling manager or anybody related to the wrestling business. It's a very sad moment. But when you lose somebody like great like Mr. Fuji, it just hits hard. It just pulls heartstrings a bit because like you grew up like most of you guys are some of you guys are older than me if you watch my videos obviously, but you guys obviously watched Mr. Fuji in the 80s and 70s whatever, and obviously in the early 90s, and you guys obviously was attached to when he was part, and I feel that because I was watching I watched some of his old stuff on the fucking WWE Network and YouTube and stuff, and man, I liked his stuff he did with him and Yokozuna. And yeah, it's a sad time in wrestling business right now that he's gone. I hope that the WWE give him a tribute on Raw. They give him a tribute on their YouTube channel with a few of his he talks about his stuff and his stuff he's done in the wrestling business and stuff. But I hope that tonight on Raw he gets a good tribute, man, and I hope that WWE talk about him most of the night. They show him vignettes and stuff like that. That'd be awesome. So yeah, guys, that was my thoughts. That was my thoughts on. This is me giving my tribute to Mr. Fuji. So R.I.P. Mr. Fuji. You was also in the wrestling business. In my opinion, he went a bit too early. But you know what? He had a good wrestling career, and a lot of people, like 20, maybe 10, 20 years later, are gonna keep watching Mr. Fuji, any stuff he did in the wrestling business because he was that good. But yeah, in my opinion, a very underrated manager as well, but a very good manager if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Mr. Fuji and what happened and stuff. So leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. If that was the case, right out.